Now we should have Zetira joining us shortly for the showcase. Mango, are you gonna stick around for the showcase as well? Sounds good. I think I'm on my own now.
Uh-oh. Are you on your own?
No, there's Zetira.
Hello, everybody.
Good stuff.
What a week we had, right?
Pretty impressive week. I mean, yeah, there was a lot of sweeps, but I feel like what did come out was pretty, self-explanatory. I mean, we had a couple matches that went to tiebreaker, which I was genuinely surprised about.
Me too, yep.
I did not expect that reverse sweep from France. That was a very impressive match to watch.
For sure.
Yep. But now we have concluded this weekend, and we are about to probably drop our jaws even larger than when we dropped them during the first Mappools showcase. I'm really hoping we don't, but it should be interesting enough to see. Hopefully your other guy comes here to help you, but I am going to be watching this, and while I'm doing that, I'm also going to be preparing for the Aspire contest that will be taking place shortly after the Mappools showcase. Not directly after, but within time. So definitely, if you're interested in seeing some wild, crazy beat maps, guys, be sure to stick around after this for just good times all around, I promise.
And if you want to participate in set contests such as Aspire, you might as well check out Ozo News, which is on the website, on the homepage. Be sure to check every beat mapping contest that there is. At the moment, there is a monthly beat mapping contest in Catch the Beat, and of course the Aspire contest, which is, however, going to conclude today. Did I understand it right?
I do believe Ephemeral's got some details on it, but we judges, we do have our votes tallied, so I don't know exactly how everything's going to work with it, and I don't want to say anything right away because Ephemeral's done a lot of work to make this thing really big. So I kind of want to let him be showmaster with it and not accidentally done goof and say something that's not true. So we'll keep that on zip for now.
Oh, can't wait for that. Anyway, thank you for hosting this last block right here.
Not a problem. I enjoyed it. I kind of ran a little bit sluggish near the end, but that's to be expected.
Oh well, whatever. That was still pretty nice. I felt entertained. As
Awesome.
well as from Maximizer. Good job there.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I'll be giving a little bit of a recap of what we had in this map pool. So there were some interesting picks. Of course, bans as well. I think the crowd favorites were Slit as well as Dynamite, I think it was. A lot of people were excited for these. Even though we didn't get to see them as often. Now, there is one game I want to make a reference here. Nintendo's not a sponsor, but their game is called, I believe, Dr. Kawashima's Devilish Brain Age, something around these lines, which is a derivation of the normal, regular Brain Age, and it's called Devilish because it's a little bit harder than what you are going to be used to if you play that game. And this map pool sort of reminded me of, well, something that may be called Devilish, so I was arguing to call this this installment of the whole World Cup really the Hell Edition, or Way to Hell Edition, I don't know. It was quite diabolical of a map pool to start with in group stage, to be honest. I mean, we had 7.2 stars in the Nomod pool. That is, well, very respectable. We also had some high SV picks in Hard Rock. Not easy to deal with, and a lot of completely complicated patterns, such as in the Tiebreaker, which was absolutely crazy. Even I had trouble with that, and I'm absolutely happy and stoked that I didn't have to play that one. It's really complicated. Now, the following map pool is likely going to be less scary. However, that is because the star ratings in general are just going to be a bit lower. The content of these maps, though, is going to be pretty much on the same level, if not worse than what we had, or harder than what we had. So, as soon as we're completely, as soon as we have arrived completely, we will cover you with the newest map pool of the round of 16 here on OS Live.
But yeah, I think the Mappools showcase should hopefully be a little bit more interesting this time around. Hopefully it won't have the same reaction as the group stage, because there was a nice reaction to that one.
Well, looking at it right now, the maps that we see here in the next map pool, I think people are going to be less scared, but they will still be able to pay respect for these picks, because some of them, especially with the mods that they have to be played with, are still going to be pretty hard. Respectively, counting that we are in round of 16, so everything is at a fair scale, I'd say.
I'm kind of hoping this one feels more
humane.
Yeah, I'm hoping this feels more round of 16ish. As I was just laughing at what Pin said.
Yeah, I don't want to compare this to any other Taiko World Cup, because then you may get a little bit deluded from what is actually proper in this round of 16. I mean, we have to scale it still from group stage to round of 16. Okay, we got somebody join. I believe that's Magnomizer. How are you?
I am fine. I just had issues on Wi-Fi end, and those may cut, but
also have issues with ringtones.
yeah, but I am currently just trying to find a solution. I am currently working off mobile data, and that just burned out, but I should be fine. I should be fine for now.
Let's hope that this will be enough of mobile data left to present all these maps.
Are you ready for the round of 16 showcase?
Absolutely.
Is that starting right now?
I believe we're about to start, yes.
Oh god.
Okay, so we should be seeing the first one by now?
Okay.
I believe so. Yeah, there we go, so we've started.
Okay, so the first map we have, I really don't want to pronounce that.
Is it the Camilla one?
Yeah.
Yep.
Shun no Shifudo o Ikashite Kame Fumi Piaria. It's a Nishizumi map, and the difficulty is Karakin. It's a beat map with a lot of accelerating and decelerating SV changes, making it tricky to distinguish snapping at times. There's a BPM change of 300 in at minute 3. I'll let you go ahead and give more information on it, but I will help you with pronunciation as best I can.
Wonderful. That'll help us. So, looking at this map right now, we have a lot of finishers at the beginning. That'll make up for a lot of score right away. And of course, these SV changes are actually pretty tricky. What do you think, Magnomizer?
Well, I mean, there are a lot of SV changes throughout this map. I think players will have to remain focused in order not to be caught off guard, but there's definitely going to be a lot of practice involved.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
There's also an abundance of finishers.
Gotta be ready at all times for these. I imagine this was in a Mappool, that would be quite difficult. I mean, it is still in Nomod, but I think it's adequate for round of 16, considering what we had in the last Mappool.
Is this 220 BPM?
This is, let me just check real quick. So it does have a 300 BPM section.
Towards the end, if I'm not
But
mistaken.
the base beats per minute is 220.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of slider velocity changes actually. So, like,
Quite surprised there. Yep.
oh god, I can see this map being banned quite a lot, but we'll also have to see how the other maps play out.
It's also interesting to see how this is going to work out with accuracy. Actually, I feel like there's going to be low accuracies all over the board when people play this. Because I'm relating it to myself, but I'm interested in seeing how well these players that we still have left in the round of 16 will cope with these. That's the comp section right there.
But still, the accuracy required, I mean, it's got like 1/8 doublets, if I'm not mistaken.
That looks like 1/8, yep.
So, especially with Scorby 2, given that accuracy is such a huge deal, there is literally no break for this.
Very complicated indeed. It's also pretty long of a map, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like 4 minutes long, this map?
So you have to watch your stamina as well. That's the challenge, and this is again at 5.7 stars. I don't know whether that is justified. I'd say it's higher because of the SV, but I don't think it's calculated into the star rating score, which is.
And we entered the 300 BPM section, or 310, I believe. But yeah, definitely loads of finishers everywhere, so it's definitely a catch people.
Also managing to finish it off. Yeah. It's a lot scarier than I thought it is.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I think we can just throw start rating out the window, because this is just... I have seen 7-star maps easier than this.
Absolutely. Okay. The next one I'll be able to pronounce.
Alright.
Thank you, though.
No problem.
This is Light Show Magic Stronghold, mapped by No Fool. It's a special only difficulty. We're at 5.81 stars, and the SV changes in this map are very difficult because they are causing overlaps in the map, and this is why it's hard to read. Okay, we're starting off with pretty low SV, however we have some cuts being thrown in. Gotta pay attention to those. Patterns seem fairly basic, what I'm seeing. But yeah, the SV are actually a problem. I really don't want to be guessing where these cuts are flying in, so players please prepare for these high SV changes and where they appear. Good thing we're not playing with hidden or hard rock there.
Yeah, but the finisher placements are still quite tricky.
Absolutely, yep. Oh, this one. Well, that's cool. Wow.
That's a very interesting stream right there.
Well, this is absolutely unseen. I haven't seen any map like this, at least not in official tournaments.
So it looks like last time it was the round of... So in group stage it was the round of 1-6, and this time it looks like it's the round of slider velocities.
Jesus. That's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm reckoning a lot of bans as well. Well, that's already 2 maps that we would ban. That's a problem. Let's see what's coming up though. Oh, this is also a very long map. We're only at the halfway point.
I think as we progress through to the higher stages, we're going to see longer maps becoming more commonplace, as stamina and concentration are definitely factors to consider in terms of difficulty gameplay.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. We have some shorter maps in here. However, these are going to be packed with technical patterns. So the calm parts over here look pretty doable, not too complicated in terms of patterns. You should use these to really focus on your accuracy. I mean, you will probably have to build it up at other stages rather than these SV change situations. Yeah, absolutely, the focus is not on the patterns, but on the changing speed.
Yeah, I don't think the patterns of this are particularly tricky. It's more of a reading challenge, definitely.
Right. Exactly. Well, these low slider velocities are also as challenging.
I mean, have you seen the amount of overlap that takes place in this map? It's ridiculous.
Absolutely. Again, I haven't seen anything like this in tournaments or in the ranked section, not even in love, really.
Well, maybe except for a handful of Cache maps.
Right, yeah. But even these are not as complicated.
This is definitely
to read,
pushing it. This is definitely pushing it.
Oh,
well,
absolutely.
look at the number of ninjas. This is going to require an insane amount of practice, and teams that do not practice will definitely be thrown off.
That's a warning right here. Watch out. Okay, moving on to the next map. Ooh, my eyes are kind of drawn away. Anyway, this is DJ Mattism and Shakunet's Beachside Bunny, I think it is. Mapped by Kagami Yuki. Kagami's Taiko is the diff name, and we're at 6.25 or 6.26 stars. This is rather slow in terms of BPM. This is 153, and the map itself is very technical. It uses 1/6 bursts and even goes up to 1/8. So watch out there. As you can see, the snappings are already pretty harsh with the 1/3, but it's even going to be harder because all these bursts are integrated into a 1/4 stream pattern, as you can see right now.
But I'd have to say, it seems to be a bit calmer on the SV on the whole.
Right. An exception in this map so far. Let's see whether other maps are doing it better there. But yeah, as you can see, this map is throwing you off with a lot of different color ratios, so you cannot really stick to a pattern that you're going to play. You have to adapt to each and every single stream that's coming in.
This looks incredibly difficult.
Oh, it is. I know this map. I've played it recently, and boy, this is not easy.
I can imagine a lot of high C teams even struggling on these types of maps.
Oh yeah. This will require quite some expertise in Nomod. However, this is a shorter map. As I said, the shorter maps are going to be, well, a bit more technical than the longer ones. In terms of tapping, at least. Reading-wise, well, we have this other map.
Looks like the next map will be Paraclete, mapped by Wolf.
The map host is actually Kreutz, but Wolf covered the taiko difficulties. Yeah, this is at 6.44 stars. and it's known to be, well, quite the hot pick because of its high speed. I have to look at how fast it actually is.
I believe it's 210 BPM, 210 BPM, I think.
I see. Combined with complex streams, as you can see right in the beginning, actually, and the length of these streams, this makes up for quite the hard map.
Yeah, there's also quite a few 1/3 and 1/6 snaps later on.
Yeah.
But on the whole, as it is a ranked map, we're gonna see fairly fewer gimmicks. So in general, it's just more of a consistency pick.
Right. This is a true test of speed and, well, not as much reading as consistency, I'd say. There are some 1/6 streams, or rather large 1/6 streams with one color, so these might actually throw off some players that would normally play the map pretty well, and that is where players can upset others.
Yeah, but this map should be fairly well known as it is ranked and among the top high-ranking taiko players.
Yeah, it's been played by many, I figure. Out of the maps that I knew from this map pool, this is one of them. Well, it naturally spread through it being ranked. However, it's also quite a hard map, and that may also speak for itself. Yeah, absolutely crazy patterns. You better watch out for these. I know the OD, but
OD7, I believe.
okay, so that leaves room open for note locks, but you should be fine.
Yeah, but in terms of failing or passing this map shouldn't really pose any problems.
Certainly not in the World Cup, that's for sure. Also a little bit of a shorter map here. Okay. So our next map is Clash of Swords, mapped by Michael, I believe that is.
Michael,
yeah. Oh, Michael, yeah. The song's by Noah, so we've got Noah and Michael there. The difficulty is called Mike Oni, and it's at 6.66 stars. Well, talking about Devilish Brain Age or whatever it was. Well, this map,
well,
this
so
map
far,
is pretty fast.
yeah, it's got a higher SP on the PI sections, so for players, they'll have to watch out for they'll have to be able to read high SP for these sections.
Right, this is actually at 229 BPM, so this is the the fastest pick that we have in the pool.
Looks like in this round of 16, the pools in general are ramping up the BPM slowly.
How are they? I can't recall the speed of the highest, or the highest.
I mean, in group stage, the highest BPM map, I don't believe there was a map above much higher than 200, but here we're seeing 230s, 240s, and especially for the first Camilla map we saw, that went up to 300 BPM.
Right, yeah. I just looked it up. The highest BPM that we had in the last map pool was 220, so this is already amping it up quite a bit.
Yeah, so quite a few tricky streams there, but on the whole, nothing to do with overlap or not much of that at all, so fairly readable.
That's true, there was a little bit in the beginning, but well, not too challenging at all. What is challenging though is these large streams with high SV, and this is chokeable, talking from experience.
Oh yeah,
Too
once
many
you miss in
maps.
any of these streams, you're
Right.
going to note lock, and that will be quite difficult to get out of.
Oh, this is very short though. Anyway, that looks really challenging. Moving on to the next map, we have
The final,
this is
the final Nomod map in the bracket.
Correct, and this song some people could know, at least the original. This is Spider Dance, the Camilla remix. The song's by Toby Fox in the original arrangement. This is mapped by Nananas. Difficulty is plainly called Oni, but we are at 6.95 stars.
I have actually played this map before, and I have to say it features a lot of 1/8 snapping. So it's actually, while the listed BPM is 105, the true BPM is actually double that. So as we can see, we see a lot of 1/8 doublets, and so it's more of a slow SV reading challenge, but it features quite a few dense patterns.
I'm currently looking at it right now, and I recall the song. Isn't there a part where the speed completely switches over from slow to fast?
I can't actually remember, but so far we have a lot of doublets, which for quite a lot of players are one of their many weaknesses.
Also, the snappings are very diverse and therefore pretty hard, I think.
In Twitch chat, we have Eleanor asking why the set is not hidden in the hidden pool. The answer to that is if this were in the hidden pool, it would be suicide.
I could totally agree there. So, especially well, starting with the slow patterns and not really how do you say this, predictable double patterns. Yeah, I can't fathom that this is ever going to be in a hidden pool. But well, this Taiko World Cup is already the World Cup of surprises. We started off with a crazy group stage pool, so this is actually possible to be in a hidden pool at some point, but not in this tournament. I don't see it.
Yes, Zebra, what do you think about the overall balance of the pool?
Are you talking
No
about
mod
the
bracket.
pool or
No mod
switch
bracket.
from? Oh,
How do you
well,
think about the spread, the balance?
right. I feel like the maps altogether fit together really well, and they leave a lot of opportunities for any kind of player to produce a good score and well potentially upset another team, which is quite nice because well it involves everybody in every team. We get to see a lot more players, I feel.
Fair enough. I mean, with this diverse map pool, we can see a lot of niches that certain teams can fulfill.
Right, for example, these high SVs are accounting for these hard rock players that may not want to play the hard rock pool because it's quite harder than the last one, I'd say. So they got the opportunity in the Nomod pool this time. Okay, we're moving on to the hidden pool.
Yeah, that concludes the Nomod pool, so I think it's of a fair difficulty.
Yeah, I can agree there. Our next map is called Run Let's Run. This is mapped by Wolf. The artist is Killer Blurred.
The difficulty is Run Oni Run.
Right.
Very interesting difficulty name there.
Yeah.
This is the lowest star rated map in the pool, coming in at 5.33 stars.
Correct, and we will find some tricky 112 snappings over here. These are doubles, I feel. We don't see them yet, but they're coming in later, I believe.
Yeah, so one thing to note is that the BPM for this song is 160, and so that will make this a fairly tricky hidden pick as slow SV picks. As seen in the group stage, we had Slit, which was about 153 BPM, which is fairly low, and it was avoided by many teams, and we may see exactly the same situation here.
Right, that's really the breaking point. For those that don't really follow Taiko or any World Cups, well, the hidden pool relies on songs that are not quite fast because it makes it harder to read collectively. Think about the notes coming in or the amount of notes coming in that you can't see anymore. So you have to remember more, therefore. yeah, this is definitely one of the maps that is going to make it a bit harder for those hidden players, just like Slit, at least in the beginning of Slit.
Yeah, the way I see it, this map pool just seems to be a step up from the previous the group stage. Yeah. Frankly, I can barely read anything that goes on in this particular showcase.
Oh.
I mean, it just goes to show how difficult this map is.
Oh, did you see the end? Yeah, that is.
Oh yeah.
It's quite the change up there. So watch out for that. Don't underestimate that last stream right there.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, rapidly moving on. Our next map is Harperia, mapped by Ichigaki, but I believe the taiko difficulty was mapped by someone else. I'll have a quick look at that.
If I recall correctly, that is Aussie Osrock.
Yes.
Oni, yeah. This is at 6.39 stars actually, and this is a map that we have seen before in another Taiko World Cup.
I believe it was featured in the Taiko World Cup 2016, actually.
Yeah, I think it was last year, yeah.
But that was before it was ranked. So this is the second ranked map.
Right. Additionally, this was in the finals of last year's World Cup, so...
And it was Nomod as well. Or was it Nomod? I can't remember. I
think it was Nomod. I'm not sure. Anyway, this just comes to show how far we have stepped up the game in this World Cup, really.
So before, we sort of kind of sitting on the fence there, was group stage as hard as finals map pool of last year? Now we've definitely confirmed we are seeing finals maps from last year in this year's round of 16, so definitely the difficulty has ramped up.
Well, that makes me all more exciting for the upcoming pools. I mean, I have no idea what's going to await us in the grand finals or finals, really. Semi-finals even are a mystery to me right now. I don't know how high we are going to go up. Maybe not in star difficulty, but you know, in complexity in maps.
But as for the map itself, there are quite a few 1/6+1/4 streams, so yeah, quite tricky there.
Just wanted to jump in and quickly confirm what you're talking about this map was last year.
Ah, okay.
I don't know exactly what group stage, but what stage it was, but yeah, it was definitely used last year.
There we go. Yeah.
Personally, I feel that it was the group stage hidden pool was a bit harder on the whole. I think it's roughly equal. Havoc is roughly as hard as Harperia.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. Anyway, we have to move on. This was the hidden pool. We've concluded with that. We're moving on to the hard rock pool. And this is also a map that was featured in the finals of last year's Taiko World Cup. This is Confisory. The composer's LED versus CAG, so it's actually
SCU.
Sorry, SCU. There you go. So that's a collaboration. This is the inner-only difficulty, and we're at 6.61 stars. And this map, let me tell you, has so many 1/6 streams that can set you up and, well, throw you to the next wall. This is absolutely incredible. And finding this in hard rock is astounding.
But in spite of that, this map is an absolute joy to play. Props to NACL for mapping this amazing song.
Absolutely wonderful map and song, yeah, I can agree there.
I'm pretty sure we've seen this song in like most World Cups now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just got lots of 1/6, and there is an SD change towards the end of the map, which increases the difficulty of hard rock in terms of reading.
Right, seeing this in hard rock pool is, I don't know, I couldn't cope with that. I even have problems coping with that in Nomod, like, to be completely frank, yeah.
Yeah, but beyond that, I don't think there's much else to say. I think we might as well enjoy the rest of the song.
Alright, that was lovely to watch. We have to move on. This is a map I don't know personally, but I feel like this is going to be really hard.
I have played this map before, so I can provide some insight. Ikaro, in his series of blank light maps, Divine Light is the step below Sorcery Light, for those of you who are familiar. So this map is contains, I believe, a lot of 1/6 and potentially 1/8 snappings, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I don't know, it's you're the one to talk to. However, this is called Can't Hide Your Love by Cola Kid, and again, it was mapped by Ikaro, that is true. We're actually at 6.6 stars again.
Yeah, there are a lot of bursts in this particular map, and at 200 BPM, it can be quite a challenge to beat.
Bless you, right there. Yeah, these look challenging, at least for these players that are DDKK or KKDD that have to play these with one hand. Especially because it's just going over from the one color to the other, from dawn to cut. Well, that's if you can't count the amount of circles that you have played, you're going to get into trouble there. I could blame them, to be fairly honest.
Yeah, but this is one of those 8-bit songs, so quite a classic.
Chiptunes, yeah. There's a pretty old map in Standard, mapped by Kurt, that's been approved for quite a while. I think I played the convert of that. That was back in the day, 3 years ago or something. That's how old that map is. And it's still pretty nice, actually. It's refreshing to see those older maps compared to the ones that we have today, especially in terms of difficulty. Anyway, this map, also, I'd say it features quite high slide velocity. That's because of hard rock, of course, but given the fact that these streams are pretty long and have mix-ups of certain color configurations, well, quite a challenge there.
Agreed. It's also a fairly long map for hard rock.
True, yep. It's not a snapping change in the end, isn't it? Nah, it should be 1/4. Anyway, the next map that we have is in the double time pool, so the hard rock pool was concluded right there. The next one that we're talking about is another Camilla song, and well, I would call Zitra in here for pronouncing that, but I think I'll be fine.
I will give an attempt. So Mushi no Sumu Tokoro, mapped by the taiko diff is mapped by N-Wolf.
Right, hey, you pronounce that pretty well. The map host, yeah, the map host right here is shown, but yeah, as you said, the taiko difficulty is mapped by N-Wolf yet again. That's the third map, I believe.
Alright, this map I'm familiar with. I tried to spend well over 100 play count trying to FC this map, and I finally got it in the end, but I got like 93% accuracy.
Yeah, and I can absolutely tell you what it is about. It's these weird snappings that we see in the beginning and in the end, I believe, that I barely could cope with in Nomod, actually, about a year ago when it wasn't ranked yet. It's quite refreshing, actually. It works well with the song. The song is quite nice as well, if you ask me. But in terms of the map, overall it doesn't seem to be too complicated, except for these little bursts that we find over and over.
I mean, there are just some really dense sections in this map.
Right. True, I didn't really pay attention to that. That's true.
There's just a lot of compound streams, and it just requires prior knowledge. I think a lot of practice is needed for this particular map, from personal experience. But it's a very short map. It's only like 500 something objects.
Right. Look at your accuracy. That's 88.44. I think that we are going to see it with a lot of other players as well.
God damn it! They should have used my replay. I had an FC on that.
Well, anyway, the next map is Pernicious Deed. The artist is Saber Missile. This is mapped by Unmei Muma, who was previously known as Gezo from France. The difficulty is called Pernicious, and we're at 5.05 stars. So actually, this is not too high of a star rating, but
I believe that's without double time. That's without double time. That's the star rating.
oh right, yeah.
Yeah, so with double time, that's easily gonna breach well into like the 7-star region for both maps.
Right, we're only at 5.2 in the yeah, that has to be without the double time calculated in there. Anyway, this map is a slower pick. Its base BPM is 145, so actually we're going to end up with quite a high value of 218, but we are in double time, so that is probably still quite a slow song for that mode. The breaking point here is that we have an OD of 6.5, and I think that is the base. Let me just check that.
That is base OD, and with double time on OD 6.5 is just about equivalent to OD 10, I believe, on Nomod.
And that is crazy, especially in taiko. I mean, in standard we are almost used to high OD, especially with hard rock. But in taiko you don't see values as high as often. Yeah, so this is going to be very hard to get accuracy on.
Yeah, and there's quite a few 1/6 bursts there, so I think... But in general, it doesn't seem to be too difficult of a map, in my opinion. It seems to be more of an accuracy challenge more than anything.
Right, it's got to be balanced at some point. We also have to calculate into that this map is actually 4 minutes long, so quite a test of stamina as well, especially if you constantly try to keep up your accuracy. Looking at the replay, we're at 92%, you know. Keeping that up for 4 minutes, or potentially decreasing right there, is something nobody can really afford, especially not in taiko score V2. So this is, well, quite a map for the mentals, I would say.
Seems to have quite a few tricky streams though, but
Right.
yeah.
Just adds to the immense difficulty of this map, even though the speed itself is not that high. Wait, are these 1/3 that we just saw?
I think that was a BPM change right there.
Huh. Well, that makes it even more even harder there. Wow.
Actually, no, I don't think there are... Well, it's just different rhythms, and well, regardless whether it's a BPM change or not, it's a rhythm change, and with any song, any change in rhythm is going to throw any player off.
Can absolutely agree there, yeah. I'll better watch out with these streams, you know? Maybe these streams don't seem to be too hard to read, however, with OD10 you can't really be late for any circle here, so you have to be on point at each and every situation. I mean, you'll have less note locks because of this OD, but that doesn't really account for what you have to keep up when you're actually playing these streams. Do you want to introduce the next one?
Sure. So the next, yes, of course, giving the difficult to pronounce maps to me. Next map is called Ancest, mapped by John571. The artist is Mitsuyoshi Takenobu no Ani. I think I didn't butcher that completely.
I'm sorry to cut you off there, but we're still at a previous map. This is the first map in the free mod pool. The one you just talked about is the following one.
Apologies.
Not a big deal at all. We'll
My
get to
mistake.
it later on. This map is not too long in the first place. This is Hop Step Adventure by TKS. Well, this is the special star difficulty, and we're at 6.777 stars. This map is pretty basic, however, it has some bursts right there, 1/6 that may be hard to follow, especially because they are integrated into 1/4 streams. It should be doable though, depending on the mods that you use, and the mods that are allowed in this map are Hard Rock and Hidden and Hard Rock.
Now,
As in the combination.
Yeah, this is quite a challenge because the map itself is OD7, and with Hard Rock that bumps it all the way to OD 9.8.
That's a lot again.
Yeah, and with Hard Rock being only like you must activate Hard Rock. Like Hidden is not an option here. So
yeah, the only mod that you may not pick is Hidden on its own.
Wait, isn't that what the showcase is doing?
Wait, why do we have Hidden in the region?
Bit of an oversight there, I think. But oh well, I mean, I guess it just shows if it's like that with Hidden, then with Hard Rock, it's going to be even worse.
Well, anyway, this will be updated on the wiki, don't fret. We'll have the proper information over there after the map pool at some point today. Anyway, let's move on to the map that you went
incorrectly introduced, but how about you give it a shot at pronouncing this time?
Alright, why not? This is... Oh boy. I think the artist is even harder than the title. The title is Empress by John 571, and the artist is Mitsuyoshi Takenobu no Ani. Let's just go with that. This is the inner-only difficulty, and this is the hardest map in terms of star rating that we have, at 6.98. So we're actually lower in star difficulty than the last Mappools hardest map, which we rarely see, I believe. Or we had rarely seen.
Not really. I mean, it's not always uncommon. I mean, last year in TWC 2015, the quarterfinals tiebreaker was 6.82 star, that if I recall, and then in finals it was Apparition, which was 6.8. So it can go down. Like it does go down from time to time. It's really objectively the difficulty of the map rather than the SR. The SR just gives you a vague indication of what to expect.
Yeah, it's broken at times, but I was alluding to the map not being played as much, like the 7.2 star map and the group stage pool. But I don't know, I didn't really follow most of the matches, so I may be wrong there. Anyway, this map, again, is the hardest per SR, so this doesn't mean too much, but looking at the patterns right there, especially with Hidden, this looks quite scary if you ask me. It's a heavy streams. You may use any mod right here.
Yeah, free mod. So quite a tricky pick, I think.
Absolutely.
Just really heavy streams in general.
Yeah, I do not know how to tackle this with mods. I play this without mods at all. Guys, we'll need this comm section right here.
Yeah, but with a BPM of 185, I don't think it's going to be particularly tricky to read with Hard Rock or Hidden, at least for veteran players.
Right, but you have to keep up with the tapping. Definitely a pick to be scared of, I'd say.
Oh yeah.
At least for me personally, I don't know.
And that can be reflected with the star rating.
Right. It's absolutely justified here, I'd say. Moving on to the last map in our free mod pool, and that is Nishikawa FKS, met by a rival who had an appearance in the last map pool in the hidden pool with Havocs. Now this map is rated pretty lowly at 5.47 stars. At the inner only it is. But I don't think that is too accurate right here.
What's interesting about this map is that players are forced to go for Hidden Hard Rock or no mod in the case, but one player on each team must play Hidden Hard Rock, and that is the only mod available. Hidden and Hard Rock on their own are not options, so this will be quite a reading challenge for players.
Well, let's see whether this one will be picked at all. I mean, you have to have at least one player that combines both, is insane enough to combine both mods and play this map reliably well. Anyway, the map itself doesn't seem to be too hard, well, but with the mod combination that at least one player has to play, this is going to be a lot more challenging for the team as a whole. I'm just looking at the chat right now, people are saying this is not pre-mod. Well, we're trying to compensate with the difficulty of this map, so it seems pretty fair that people are free to choose whether they want to play with mods. That's where the free mod lies.
I suppose free mod is more of they're free to go no mod, but when you pick mods, it's restricted. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it used to
I
be
think.
a bit more different, but these things have been changed in the past. This is, I believe, new for this World Cup, especially.
Yeah.
But well.
Anyway, finally, we're moving on to Tiebreaker.
I am legitimately scared of this map. Absolutely scared.
Now, infamous among the taiko community, the Tiebreaker for round of 16 will be Looming Shadow of a Tree Long Gone, map by Lockdown.
I mean, this map is pretty fun to play on its own. However, due to the fact that there's one card that is so difficult in Score v2, at least when finishers equal misses, that this was absolutely not passable. This is currently a loved map. Well, it's probably going to stay in the loved section. However, seeing this in the Taiko World Cup is actually quite a milestone, I would say.
It is frighteningly difficult.
Absolutely.
So now 3/4 of the map is actually fairly standard. It's actually not particularly difficult. It's as Zetero pointed out, it's just this one particular section that is like nightmarishly difficult. To date, there is only one player to be able to full combo this map, and that is Adedonia, I believe, from Chile. And I believe Chile.
Wow.
Adedonia managed to FC this map.
That's impressive.
In the old Scorpio 2, so when finishers broke combo. So he was able to hit all the finishers. And he has a video of this on YouTube, so this is the most amazing video. It's the most impressive play on Taiko, I would say.
Wow, okay. That's actually impressive, yeah.
That is genuinely impressive. But with the Scorpio 2 finisher no longer breaking combo, it is definitely possible to pass this map. With the abundance of finishers, it will definitely provide a reading challenge, but for that, just that bonus score, players will have to try to hit at least some of those finishers.
Oh, there we go. And we're not staying with big dons, we're actually going over to big cats and then a mixture of big dons and cats, and I cannot cope with this. I failed this map times and times again. And I really don't want to play, even though it's really fun, you know, for the first part, and after that one,
now
this is actually really cool to play.
Yeah. Now for the people in the Twitch chat complaining about, this finisher section is just impossible. I mean, it's just simply testing a skill that's not being, well, you've never played before. I mean, it is a very tricky pattern. But I mean, the Mania equivalent of this would just be two jacks in Mania, so it is definitely doable. It's just a skill that Taiko players don't practice often at all, and hence it can be very disorienting. We'll just see what players can manage to do in the week leading up to the competition.
Right. Yeah, I can only agree there. So I can't wait for this map to actually be on stream or be in my match. I definitely have to practice this finisher part. I just was thinking about this map. This is actually not 5 minutes long. I don't know whether it is the longest map in the pool. It may not be, but I don't think this is an irregularity, is it? I think we had that before.
No. But yeah, that concludes the round of 16 Mappool showcase. As you can see, this tiebreaker is brutal. The player having shown 78 misses, most of them lying within that finisher section.
Yeah, it's brutal, as you said.
This map pool in general, I'd say a lot of practice, definitely. It's going to require a lot of practice from all the players, all the teams.
Yeah, even though we didn't see the star rating amp up as much as we had it in group stage, I'd say that these maps are actually harder. I was kind of wrong in the beginning. I was kind of focusing on the star rating itself. But yeah, these maps are actually, well, scary in my perspective as well. And as you said, this requires training. So actually go right ahead. You will find this map pool later on in the wiki. And well, happy training.
Well, it's been certainly an exciting group stage.
Yeah, I can agree there.
Okay, before we go, favorite
Right.
match of the weekend.
Favorite match of the weekend? I'd have to say it boils down. Well, I missed the France versus South Korea one, so I can't actually comment on that. Although I did hear that it was incredibly intense. I'm gonna have to think about it. Zedera, off to you. Zedera.
Well, just call me as you please. Anyway, my opinion on these matches, or which one is your favorite, it's pretty hard to pick out, especially given that that I didn't really watch many of these. But from what I heard, I think the Indonesia versus what was it right there?
Chile.
With this versus Chile seemed to be pretty nice. When they actually at an 0-3 disadvantage until they won the game.
Was it? No, I believe they just made it to tiebreaker. I think they just exchanged points. The reverse sweep happened with South Korea and France. Yeah, South Korea and France was the reverse sweep. So South Korea was winning by 3 points, and then France managed to come all the way back, taking it to taking the tiebreaker, but South Korea took the tiebreaker.
Incredible.
Yeah, the Indonesia-Chile one was them winning on their own picks just constantly, so
Yeah.
it was a very different tiebreaker situation.
I have to say, my favorite match was the match against Canada versus Venezuela, actually, which was a particular highlight.
Really?
Yeah, so on yesterday, if you recall...
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, so Venezuela only had 2 players show up, and they were really in a tight spot. But while Venezuela isn't the best of teams, one of the lower ranked players managed to find the time to get on, and just a good show of sportsmanship.
I'm gonna make a shout out right here. I'm gonna look up this name of the player.
Seok Hijin or something?
Right.
Seok Hijin?
Ah,
Or something
yes.
like that. Yeah, he just
Yes,
showed
good
up
on
in the
him.
nick of time to to prevent them from losing by default, which is probably just the worst thing ever. I mean, if he didn't show up, then Venezuela would have just,
Oh, this is in Mania ranking. So, the player is called. Wasn't it right? Yeah, Sok Hee-jin. Rank 11 in Venezuela, 4,600 globally. And although they didn't perform as well as they should have in this group stage, it was quite the gesture of sportsmanship that we saw from this player. Absolutely fantastic gameplay. Considering how fair they were in deciding to join the match. Huge shout out right there.
So just gonna quickly go through the the round of 16 pairings. for next week, if that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So for next week, we will have Taiwan facing against Poland. So definitely a match to watch out for. Germany versus Malaysia. United States versus France. Two very strong teams.
That sounds very interesting right there.
Indonesia versus Australia. Chile versus Canada. Brazil versus South Korea. Spain versus Hong Kong. And the United Kingdom against Japan.
Well, that looks like we have quite the schedule ahead of us.
Oh god, I just realized, if we beat Spain and Japan beats the United Kingdom, we're gonna face off Japan. Oh dear god. That's
Have fun
a
with
scary
that.
thought. That is a scary thought.
Anyway, before
luck
we
right there.
head off, because I think we're mostly done here, don't forget in around an hour 45 we will be doing the Aspire contest. So if you guys are interested in that, which I highly recommend you should be, do stick around for that because there are some very interesting maps and I regret looking at them.
Right.
You guys should stick around for them as well. That's really good.
Oh, definitely. I'm excited for Aspire. I intended to join in because I'm a stand-up mapper, but really I had no idea how to work with this song, especially in an Aspire contest. I mean, I would have probably been able to convert it into something nice if it was a regular contest, but no, Aspire is absolutely not your 0815 contest right there. So I'm excited actually. Anyway,
Yeah, it should definitely be good. You're right to be excited. But
yeah,
with that,
little announcement though, if I may.
alright, go.
Right, I have a Twitter, ZTZala, and you may want to post your opinion on the group stage and the upcoming map pool if you want. That's ZTZala without any punctuation.
I think we're off to... There's definitely a lot of hype with this map pool, and I think next week will be definitely an amazing weekend.
Yeah, so if you guys are interested in the Aspire contest, definitely stick around for that. Else, we will see you next weekend for what should be a very interesting round of 16 indeed. So take care everyone, and hopefully we'll see you in about an hour 45.
See you then.
Alright.